So in this problem, we want to test the equation for symmetry with respect to the x-axis, the y-axis, and the origin. So first, let's test for symmetry with respect to the x-axis. So to do that, we know a point is symmetric about the x-axis if the point x, comma, let's draw a picture here. Here's the x-axis. So if this point's on the graph, then this corresponding point down here. So if x, comma, y is on the graph, then the point x, comma, negative y is on the graph, which means we're going to replace y with negative y and simplify. So if I replace that y right there with negative y, then the equation becomes negative y equals 2x to the 7th plus 3x cubed, okay, which doesn't really simplify, or at least even if I multiply both sides by -1 to move this to the right, it's still not going to simplify to that equation. So this one is not symmetric about the x-axis. Let's look at the y-axis. So something is symmetric about the y-axis if for every point x, y on the graph, that corresponding point negative x, y is on the graph. So I'm going to replace each of those two x's by negative x, which gives me this. So negative of x to the 7th is actually the negative of x to the 7th. So we can simplify that and write it as negative 2x to the 7th. And here also, because 3 is odd, so that simplifies to negative 3x cubed, which is not the same as the original equation. So it's not going to be symmetric about the y-axis. So next we can try the origin, which it has to be symmetric about both the x and y-axis to be symmetric about the origin. So if the point x, comma, y is on the graph, then the point negative x, comma, negative y is also on the graph. So we replace y by negative y, and we replace x by negative x. Okay, so simplifying here, we have negative 2x to the 7th minus 3x cubed. Now I'm going to multiply both sides of this whole equation by -1. So the negative of negative y is equal to positive y. And over here, the negative of that, if we distribute this negative out, we'll have positive 2x to the 7th plus 3x squared, which is equal to the original equation. Okay, those are exactly the same when you simplify. So it is symmetric about the origin.